Hi, welcome everyone. Conscious Wellbeing. I'm Colleen, and so this is my New Year's recording because I haven't done one in January. So Happy New Year to all of you. And some of you may know my practice, instead of setting an intention or working with that or working with a New Year's resolution, I work with one word. So I come up with one word that's just tries to say kind of more or less the theme of what I'm working for. So this year, my word is relax. I know. May we all relax, but relaxing and not just kind of not like, oh, relax, not that kind of way, like this, just settle down, but more of a relaxing into who we really are, the stuff underneath all the other stuff, right? Can we relax out of this concept of I and me and mine a little bit? Because if you notice, all our energy really gets tangled around concept. When we run into something, when we hit a wall, when we feel a gripping or a tightening up, it's usually around this whole ego concept, this concept of I. So if we can just kind of catch ourselves in that little kind of blip, right, where we oh yes, I'm in that phase, I'm in the me, I'm in that's mine, or anything to do with ownership or possession, or what should be happening to me or should not be happening to me. So let's try and get past that a little bit, learn to relax in the full throttle way of what that can mean for us. So I invite you into that word or any word of your own that you might come up with for the year. So let's get to it. We're going to start on hands and knees. Palms under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And you can have your toes tucked or not. And we're just going to start with some cows just to lubricate the spine and start to distribute the energy across all of those circuits in the body. That subtle body waking up the bodies. Using the tone of our brain as this invitation to go deeper, right? Getting a little bit higher quality of attention. And then on this inhale, we'll just neutralize the spine a little bit and send the right leg back. And we'll just go forward and back. Find the length and the inseam of that right leg. And then we'll flatten the back foot, turn out the toes, and we'll come into this side plank variation. Left shoulder into the arm. We want to really fix that in so we have a really nice stable base. So we have these three anchors, right and right, where the left palm, the left knee, and the toes are top of the left toes, and then the right foot and leg. Right arm reaches. And we'll work on opening up through the shoulder a little bit. So let's just reach back. And a lot of length in the right arm, really reach through the whole range of motion. So try to create big movement. Keeping that base nice and steady. So we can explore a little bit more in the arm and the shoulder. Good, and then lower down and back. And we're going to go into gate pose now. So you can pick up your right leg and send it out to the side, squeeze it out to the side. Maybe squeeze up for a count of 3, 2, 1, working into the outer leg, the lateral side of the leg. So we'll come into gate pose. And I'll just turn towards you, see a little bit more of my spine line. The right toes will face forward. And we'll just go back to cat cow. So this time we'll We'll find the sensation more into the right inner groin. Really mound the upper back, like you tuck it up and away from the crest of your pelvis as you find that exhale. Inhale, go for length, move your chest forward. One more like that. So dropping, extending through the front body, and exhale, reverse that and you lengthen the back body. So we'll come up and we'll come into a side bend. Lifting the right fingertips down the right leg. We're opening up. Big breaths here. And then come and reach with your left hand anywhere along the right leg. Okay, so you want to get a nice hold, and you can bring your right arm down for support. And just use the left hand to just kind of pull your chest, your ribs, above your belly into this twist. You can also lower down if you like. Your right arm reaches up. And so just taking any version. One more breath. Good. And then what you're going to do is, I'm just going to come to the front again. You're going to just swing the leg out to the side and step it up to outside. And then here, in the lizard pose. We'll just angle those toes out slightly to the right. Lift your left knee up and extend through the left inner heel and lower down as you exhale. We'll do that 2 more times. Pick up, breathe in, chest forward, lengthen back to the heel, and then lower it down. So each time there's kind of an incremental lengthening, getting a tiny, tiny bit longer in your left leg. Good. And lower down. Big breath here. And then start to walk your hands or your fingertips forward, right on the inside of that right leg. Go way long, go way forward, and then as you exhale, hinge back into your hips, straighten. So lengthen out your side waist. Good, pull back into the hips. So it should feel more like down dog in the arms. One more breath here. Really hinging back. Good, and then walk the hands back. We're going to heel toe the right foot now, facing the right toes away from the mat. And then lifting up, coming into that side plank variation that you often hear, we call kickstand side plank. That right leg is acting more like a kickstand leg. It's a little bit easier, so we have a little bit more help with that lift. So reach, big breath, lift the hips, really active to the bottom leg, the left leg, and the left hip. And then exhale, and just let it sink down a little bit. Kind of hang from your left shoulder to open up the left side waist a little bit. Really feel that stretch. And then inhale, go up. Push actively through the left hand. Push through the left leg and lift up. Lower down. One more. Really big. Lift it up. And then go forward. Press into your hands. And we're just going to sit that foot down. Find a plank pose for a moment. And again, we want to sense that the upper back is kind of puffing up away, lifting away from the floor. So the belly turns on. Right? You want to really feel that power, especially of your exhale breath. Gathering in and then lower down, dropping down onto the knees. Go back to child's pose. And wiggle around a little bit into those hips. Inhale, exhale, find that tone in the back of your throat, that ujjayi breath. Sound of the ocean. Good, and we're gonna come forward. I'm just gonna flip to the other side so you can see better. Lengthen the left leg down. Let's go forward and down. You're drawing out length, and then inhale with the left leg up, and then take it out to the side, holding it for 3, 2, 1, maybe squeeze up, and then slowly lower it down. So we'll come back to the gate pose. And again, I'm just going to reposition myself just for the visual. Walk your hands right underneath your shoulders, and we'll go back to those cat-cows. Now feeling the sensation into the left inner groin and hip. And pulling up through the upper back, really spreading and broadening the shoulder blades apart. And one more. Keeping your chest forward. And exhale. Pull it. Nice. And then walk yourself up. We'll go into the side bend in gate pose. Reaching long through the right fingertips, letting the left fingertips slide down that left leg. Good, cinching the side waist, so you lift up out of your hips to go into that side bend, find a little bit more length. And then look towards your left leg. You're going to take a big reach with your right hand. Hold anywhere, bring your left hand down for support. And again, you're just going to pull against your left leg to turn your chest. Turn your shoulders, turn your gaze maybe. And maybe lower yourself. You don't need the hold of your hand. And with your left fingertips up, taking that twist. You really get a lot of rotation in the spine here. If you're totally down on the outer left or outer right arm. Okay. And we'll take the hands down. Gotta maneuver this now. So here. And then we're going to inhale. And then exhale, and just flip the foot forward, finding lizard pose, full angle the foot out to the side. Take the right knee up, right toes are tapped, and just extend the right leg up. And lower it down. Okay. Inhale, and then exhale. And again, go back and go down. Inhale, pick it up, lengthen. Good. Finding more and more of a stretch here. Approaching your end range, but not overdoing it. Certainly not going past it. But maybe kind of squarely looking at it. But stay here for a nice deep inhale. Begin to walk the hands forward. You could be on your palms, or I like to be on my fingertips. Breathe in for length, and then exhale, just pull straight back into the hips. Like down in the arms and the shoulders. So really feel that hands draw back, evenly pulling the left and the right sideways back. Breathe into that sensation. Good. And then walk the hands back. We're going to heel toe the foot a little bit more down and to the side, so that the toes face away from the mat. And then work the right shoulder blade into the back. So you want to feel that firm hold, and then lift up on the right leg and the right outer foot. Taking that side plank variation. Inhale, lift the hips. Push with your right hand. Lift the hips high. With your left fingertips forward and down, and exhale, and sink the hips, open out, maybe look towards your right foot. Good. Let yourself open up, kind of let yourself hang from your right shoulder to feel a nicer stretch in the right outer waist. And we'll go up again. Inhale, pull up, really active in that right leg. A lot of power there. Exhale and lower. And down. One more like that. All the way up This time you'll turn towards the mat. Ground your palms, step your left foot back. Ground your toes. Inhale. Exhale, lower knees. Point the toes back and then lower yourself all the way. Plug your hips down. Use your fingertips to scrape your chest forward away from your toes and then start to come up. Lengthen your spine out of your low back. And lift up. Open up from the back of your head. Legs engaged, low bellies engaged. And then exhale and go down. Plant your palms, tuck your toes, and we'll down and facing down. Breathe it out. First dog pose, just really orient yourself. Find a dog pose that you can just breathe in. And then begin to refine it a little bit more. If you want to send the weight back into your heels, your knees can bend. You want to have length in the back of your neck. And you don't want to hang your belly from your ribs. Hold and hug your belly in towards your ribs. So you kind of create a little bit more integration, a little more closure there in the front body. Take one more inhale through the nose. Exhale like you're sliding your palms away from you. You get your hips to go back. Then you sink the weight back into the heels. Activate your outer upper arms. Good, and inhale, roll it out into a plank. Exhale, hips lift, go back, down dog. Go back and forth like that on your breath. Inhale. Find those clean lines. Stay steady. Yoga is evenness of the mind. And exhale, lift the hips, go back, down dog. Back of the detail. Like that evenness of mind. Go out. Even in the body, mind. Exhale, lift the hips up, stand in the belly. Even if your heels are lifted, can you get a little more height? And hug the front ribs in. Lengthen through the crown of the head, towards your thumbs, not towards the floor. There's a difference. Good. We're going to step or hop or lock up to our hands. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, take your fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to for support. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, mountain. Find that ease of your breath, quality of attention. Going down. Low belly rises. Chest rises, gaze rises. Arms try to find a big breath. And exhale and fold in. Step back, right leg, left leg, front plank. Take any variation of the vinyasa. Holding plank for one full breath in. And exhale, quiet in the mind. Go forward, lower down. Maybe the knees drop down to take a little bit of the weight off the shoulders if that's an area that you need to take care of. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower. Press into your palms, lift your hips up, toes tucked. And I'm facing down. Wiggle it out a little bit. Come up on the toes, lift those hips, hug the belly in, and then go slowly down. Good, dropping through the chest a little bit. Maybe the head lowers towards the floor, opening those shoulders a little bit. Inhale, we'll roll it out. And come down. Rise up, maybe up, down. Lifting over to just the palms and the tops of the feet. Legs really active. Lifting from the low belly to the heart, to the face, and then exhale and hips fall back down dog. Get deep into those hip creases. Feel a little bit more depth in your inner groins. Inhale for space. Exhale, hold empty to come up to your hands. Rise up, big breath. Exhale, go long over your legs. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, drop in. These animals are sleepy. Inhale, rise up. Push the floor actively through the legs. Quads engaged. Exhale, and fold in. Vinyasa. Stepping back. Always down regulate this. Take it into a cat-cow, which I just made right now. And we'll all find our way back to down facing dog. Wiggle out the hips a little bit. Settle in, open the shoulders, maybe pulse a little bit. Opening out the backs of the legs, just feeling out where the body is holding. Ask it to relax. Is that my ego that's involved with that? Is that something that I'm clinging to, some idea, right? Do I want my heels to go to the floor so much that it's starting to aggravate me that maybe they're not? Where do I feel that tension? Where do I feel that contraction? Relax. Look forward. Take a step, hop or walk. Rise halfway, breathe in. Holding out your breath. As you hold. Rise up, inhale. Exhale, go right back down. Follow your breath all the way down. And that's calm, finding the quality of the tone of your breath. Stepping back. Lowering, as you would remember, the knees can come down first. Be a little bit more weight, a little bit less risky for the shoulders, the shoulder girdle. Right from your low belly, and then up dog. And then exhale, let's take it back down dog. So I'm going to do a little bit of an interval here, just to open the hips, get a little more softening in all of those deeper, denser tissues, those layers of muscles that rise through the hip, around the hip joint. So we're going to do a quick pigeon. So just kind of think of this as just stamping out pigeons. So we're not going to stay in it for long. So it's not your best pigeon or most refined version of the pose, but we're using it for a strategy to open and soften through the hips. So let's start with the right side. Inhale. And lower on the back knee, like we're not going to stay long. And exhale, we're right back up into down dog. Left side, inhale. And go back, yes. Use the inhale to stamp out your pigeon. Right side. Getting a little heavier in the hips. Use your exhale to go back to down dog. And let's do it again on the left side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale right, exhale. Inhale left, exhale. Inhale right, exhale. Inhale left, exhale, and hold it. Breath in, and exhale, go way back with the chest, bend the knees, and then step, hop, or walk up. Halfway lift, breathe in, hold out your breath. Ride that inhale all the way up to stand. Exhale, fold with the heart. Stay here for a moment, just refresh. Center yourself over and above your feet. You're nowhere else. You're right here. Inhale, rise up. Exhale and take a fold. Step the left foot back down. Lower the back knee down. Let's rise up. Sweep the arms up on your inhale and back. Your bow as you exhale. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. The arms back, this back stroke of our arms. And then just press into your right foot, especially your right heel. Activate your left leg. Go forward, so we're angling forward through the spine. Inhale, exhale. Reach the arms all the way forward. Really push actively into that right heel and come all the way out into our warrior two, going through that power lunge. And then sink down. Good. Really open and broaden across your hips, broaden across your chest. Your eyes very softly focused over your forward fingertips. Reach as much through the left fingertips as you're reaching for the right, and then let your shoulders just drop down your back. One more inhale. Exhale, we'll find a twist. Left hand comes down, left heel goes up. Inhale here. And exhale, right palms down. Let's step the right foot back. Find your vinyasa. It can always be a cat-cow or just take a break if you need it. Rise up from the low belly into up dog. If you stay low in your cobra. Lift from the low belly. Roll over your feet. Hello feet. Exhale, hips back down. Rise up the right leg. Push down with the left leg even more to let the right leg lengthen higher. And then step the foot out to the side of the mat. Turn the right toes, and we'll come into that stand side plank. Lower down, dip it down. Inhale, rise it up, push up, and then start to flip the toes towards the left side of the mat, slight angle. Walk the left fingertips and the right fingertips to that left front corner of your mat, and then pull back strongly into the right hip. And so we did this in more of a forward positioning, and now we're doing it more on an angle. A little bit of a different sensation in your right hip, more to the outer hip. Then just really breathe into the release of the lower here. Belly stays firm. And then slowly come forward. Step the right foot back. Find your plank pose. Work physically. Rest mentally. Remember those outer upper arms. Exhale, stay back. Maybe jump or take a step or a walk up to your hands. Halfway lift, breathe in, exhale, take your fold. We're going to step the right foot back, so I'm just going to turn. Lower down the back knee. Inhale, reach up, sweep those arms. Lift on the back of your lungs, up to your fingertips, and exhale, take your bows. Yeah. And again, inhale. Exhale, where are you? One more, inhale. Exhale. Into that power lunge. Lift the back knee up. Inhale here. Exhale. Sweep the arms forward. Find the power of that exhale. Let the back foot come right into your warrior two. And creating that wingspan from left fingertips to right. Sinking down. Where can we be soft? Where do we need to be more strong, more determined? What can we let go of? Where can we relax? And let's find our twist. Right hand down, right heel goes up. Left hip taps back. And breathe up to your left fingertips. Exhale, pull down, press into your feet palms and step. Your left foot back, finding a vinyasa here. Maybe just taking a cat-cow just to bring a little bit more softness here. Maybe we don't need all that heat. Maybe we do. Maybe we want to stay in the heat. We'll find our way to down dog. Take your time. Inhale, left leg lifts. Right foot pushes down. Lift the left leg strongly up. Work those three anchors. And step the foot forward, out to the side. A little bit back from your left hand and turn your toes out. Flip onto the right outer edge of your back foot. We'll come into that kickstand variation. Breathe into it, lift those hips. Exhale, drop. Lift up. And then flip the toes to face towards the other side. And then walk your fingertips towards that right front corner of your mat now. Left and right fingertips. Tiptoe away from your hips and pull back strongly through your hips as you exhale, especially your left hip. Feel that kind of circuit that you're creating. Line it up with your breath. And then release into it. Let it all disperse. Let it even itself out as you leave. That exhale. One more breath. Go forward. A little longer. Nice, everyone. And then let's walk forward. Plant your palms. Find your plank. One breath in. Feel where you can soften here. Breathe into this pose and you kind of come out on the other side. Play with that. It teaches us real life situations, how we can kind of breathe through struggles, breathe through friction, stress, right? We're creating this stress for ourselves. So we learn, we teach ourselves how we can let it go, how we can free it up, disperse it. Drop the knees down, let's sit the hips back, falling child's pose. Wiggle the hips a little side to side. And come forward, nice deep inhale. Exhale, lift the hips, go back, down dog. Step, hop, and walk up to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take your fold. And going a little bit deeper. See how the backs of the legs are responding now. Are they opening up? Are they softening? Or is there still a lot of tension there? We locate that tension. What is the source of that tension? Mental, physical. The mind is always impacting the body. We get clearer, more steady in the mind. Yes. Feel that in the body. That it relates. You just have to practice it. Sit the hips down. Air squat. Arms forward. Moving back and forth. We'll use that little sweep. Generating a little bit of speed here. Go into that exhale, stay steady. Chair pose is really great for maintaining the structure of the lower limbs, the joints, really building that bone mass, that strengthening. Inhale. And exhale, we're going to back stroke the left arm, bring the right hand down for placement for arch hypnosis. Something like your blocks. And just go right up into it. Staying steady on that right leg, firming that right quad, and lifting it up towards the right hip. Good. Maybe being steady enough to reach the right arm off the floor. And then take a big step back to your right arm, and reach it forward. And to forward stroke your right arm and come into that wrist pose. Good. Setting the right hip back. The left hip a little bit. Moving up into your right fingertips. And then exhale, lowering down the back knee. Arms back, breathe in. Exhale, power lunge, lifting the back leg and sweeping the arms forward. And again, dropping down, inhale. Exhale, stay forward, stay with the spine angling forward. And then maybe stay up for this one. Exhale. Power lunge, lift up, open out, warrior two. Settle down, relax those shoulders. And not to overdo it in the shoulders, we all do that. And then inhale, tip it back. Straighten the front leg. Turn the right toes so you parallel your feet. And then reach long towards your left leg with your right hand. Just like in gate pose now. We're going to hold. We're going to use that hold to swing away from your left leg, maybe twist the strong pull of your right arm to twist the chest up. And then lower down. Wide-legged forward fold. You can sigh out your breath. Relax. Soft is the new hard. I like that one too. But that's more than one word. Good. So we're going to use our inhale, bring the palms to the sides of your hips and come all the way up. Strong legs here. We're going to take a different hand hold. We're going to have the right arm on top, left arm underneath, and hold your opposite other arm. So if you can't do this, if this is the struggle, just do a fist bump. And then we're going to use the arm as a way to send feedback into the low back to lengthen, to find more ease in the curve of the low back, so that the tailbone lengthens downward. Good. And we lift the low belly, lift the heart, lift the chest, lift the gaze. And using the strength of your legs to hold this pose, right? The spine always looks for support. So we give the spine the support it needs. Strong legs, active belly. There's a sense of lifting, of lightening out of the low back spine, sending the chest upward, looking for elongation in the back end. And then coming slowly out, the right toe is back and forward, and then just come down again, bending into the right knee. And then just use your right hand or left hand to find that little half vine grip. Let go of your right arm, free it up, and then just bend back to back. Come forward, extended side angle. So now the left arm is going to give us feedback to kind of lengthen and smooth out the curve of that right by that. So we bring it underneath instead of letting it swing out. I see this a lot in yoga class, but nobody's doing it here, right? So we bring it underneath, settle in, open the chest, and keep encouraging that buttock to slip underneath this pose, and maybe free up the arm. Coming forward, we're going to take the arms again as we find horizontal Tanasana, stepping the back leg in slightly. Take a big breath to lengthen the chest forward out of the hips. Exhale, draw the right hip back, press into your big toe mounds, and just let the spine cascade over your right leg. Almost like you're hugging your feet together underneath you, but they're not going anywhere. So you want to create that kind of energy. And let's, that next inhale to find a little bit more ease and length in the low back. And exhale, maybe a deeper fold. Release the hands, come forward, shift yourself forward. Drop back down into your chair squat. Bring the arms back, chest forward, exhale, arms forward, hips down, rise up, big breath. Exhale, palms to heart. Let's go to the other side. Hips down, arms forward, feet back. Exhale. Good. Now we are going to the opposite side. So we're going to sweep the back stroke your right hand. Left foot stays down, left hand down for Ardha Chandrasana. Take your time. If you need two hands, that's fine. That's where you are. Working little by little, working phases. Every part of the pose, every phase is a pose in and of itself. You're going to reach out. If you gather a little bit more energy and support in the standing leg, maybe you can free your left arm. Don't have anywhere to go with it except into the fireplace. And then take a big step back. Keep the right heel lifted. Front stroke your right arm. And back stroke your left arm, coming into that twist. Good. Like pulling that left hip out. And then angle the back foot. And, oops, nope, not yet. We're coming down on the back knee. About that fun pose, power lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms back. Angle the chest forward. Exhale, keep that angle with the knee up. Powering like a lunge. Something back on your inhale. Exhale, sweep the arms forward, lift. Find that strength. One more like that. See if you can keep into that strength. Exhale, find that power in your exhale breath and then come all the way up. Find your warrior two. Settle in, soften those shoulders. Relax. Reach back. Deep breath. Straighten. Go for that hold. Use your right arm or your right fingerprints if you need the support. Otherwise, maybe the right fingerprints go to the ceiling. Swing away from the right leg. Lift your upper body. Firm your chest. And really breathe into the back of your lower ribs. Lower down. Full wide forward fold. Last breath here. Engage your legs. Hands on hips to rise up. Inhale. Left arm on top. Arms behind you. Take that fist bump. Inhale. Press against the upper glutes to lengthen the low back. Tailbone down. Rise up through the chest. Whole front body. The whole line of the front body is lifting. Your quads are lifting. Your kneecaps are lifting. Inhale. More and more elongation. Lifting out of the low back. And you'll find more ease there as you exhale. Go back into that back bend. But always finding that you can bring more length into your back bend as you go back. Use the strength of your legs. Let's take an inhale and come up. Bring the left toes out once more. We'll find that half bind. Wrap your left finger or right fingertips around your left front hip and then lower into that left knee. Always make sure you're tracking the forward knee in these poses over the center of your forward foot. Then inhale and reach back. Exhale, take your full pose with that half bind. Good. And again, use that placement of your right hand now as we smooth into that little bit of a bump, or maybe a bigger bump in some cases, like mine. And draw the glutes underneath you instead of letting them swing out to the side. You want the pose to be integrated. So let the hips come underneath the upper body, the rib cage and the shoulders. You're going to turn the chest. Bring up the left side of your waist a little. And then we're going to turn. We're going to bring the back foot in slightly. Angling the back foot. Then go back to the arm hold or your fist bump. Inhale, sending the chest forward. Exhale, hugging the left hip back as you go down over your left leg. Another couple breaths here, maybe inhaling for more length in the chest. Exhaling for a deeper fold. Letting there be a feeling of traction in the vertebrae. And come out, bending the knee, stepping the back foot in, finding your spot. Rising up to fingertips, lifting the gaze, and settling. Rise up, big breath. Activate your legs. Fold in as you breathe out. Get that right and left leg. Find your plank pose. Inhale. Exhale. Hips. Weight up. Oh, this feels like such a relaxing pose now. It's all relative. Let's initiate your right leg lift with your inhale. Open out the hip. You can just dangle the right leg to the left side of your mouth. Or you can decide if you want to drop into wild thing. If you do, keep the legs really active and lift from the back of your tailbone. And then just open up the whole front line of your body. Work into that left shoulder. And then this time, we're going to exhale. And we're going to go right to the other side with our fallen triangle. Sliding the right leg over to the left. The sides a little bit here. And then lower the left arm. Curly and face the mat with your chest. And then we're going to lower into full pigeon now. So we'll take a time in this pigeon to refine the pose. Walk the left knee back. Hips are always drawing down and back in pigeon. So you're going to feel the hips are weighted. Maybe the forward leg is a little more angled. But maybe you're a little more open in the hips and it's more in line with the front edge of your mat. So rise up with your chest. So build into this pose with a little bit more power, with a little bit more strength. Walk the left knee back. So it's not only about the front back of the hip and the glute, but it's also the back leg's hip flexor and the front of that leg. Working with gravity. We build into more release by using the weight of gravity. And then start to actively walk the hands forward to come into your fold. So as the arms reach forward, you cinch your side of waist, you lengthen out of your low back and lower towards the floor. Even out all the feeling of the landmarks. Look for those landmarks, the hips. Look for the landmarks of your shoulder. Can we align those landmarks a little more? A little more purposefully, perhaps. So using that proprioception, where our body is in space without seeing it, right? Can we feel towards that? Can we work into the sensations? Build a relationship with our body through sensations. The body doesn't play around. It tells it like it is. So we need to foster this deep listening. Let's take one more breath here. Can you lengthen further back into the top of that left foot? And then walk the hands back. Just follow this up with a down dog. So we just get a little bit into balancing out the body, finding a symmetrical pose that we can just work back into. Then we're going to go on the left side. So inhale for that left leg to go up. Open out the hip. Stack it. Maybe just dangle. Maybe just go pull it. Full wild thing. Hybrid side bend, back bend. Maybe having the hand hold the back of the head. And then coming forward, flipping towards the right side now, left palm down, and extending the left leg underneath you out to the right palm trunk. Big breath. Feel that nice stretch. And then come forward now. We're going to place that left leg for pigeon. And always be more responsive towards your body, especially when we do these very asymmetrical poses, and just noticing the difference from one side to the next. Because they can be very different. It's completely different from one side to the next. So lengthen up through the chest, walk the right knee back. Good, bring the hips, the feeling of the hips down and back, anchoring them down and back. Rising the low belly up. Finding that steady breath, that evenness, that mental evenness. Even in the asymmetry, can we find a feeling of evenness? One more nice deep breath in, and then as we exhale, we're going to slowly take this forward, sitting in the sideways, to lengthen out, walking up the fingertips actively, the arms aligning the landmarks, with the shoulders over the hips, placing the top of the back foot down. Lifting the low belly up and going over the forward leg. With maybe just a little bit, that much more length. Getting a little heavier in that left hip. Letting go, letting the tension or any amount of the feeling of gripping or constriction in the hip, just letting it dissolve layer by layer. Melting away that resistance. Let's take a last breath and then begin to come up. And then we'll go back to that downward dog. Easing it out. Big breath in. And so go a little deeper. And then coming forward, we're going to use those arms for a camel pose. Those same arms we're going to hold, or you can use that fist bump. You can tuck the toes, or you can keep them straight. And then find the length, almost like you have a wall in front of you and you want to tug your breastbone up the wall. So the whole line of the front body is going up, the whole line of the back body is going down, downward. And can you meet into those lines with your breath? Can you create, again, that quality of attention to the tone, the overall tone of your breath? Use the feedback from your arms. Find a little bit more ease, less restriction in your low back. You don't want to sink into the low back, but lift out by lifting the front body and descending the back body. You go into a fuller pose here, and we're just going to stay wherever we are now and take 3 more beautiful breaths. Just breathing past the struggle, if there is any. Letting the breath teach the body how to let go. Come out on the other side. Breathe into the face of that struggle. Find an opening. Flip it. Use an inhale breath to come all the way up. Whew. The left work. Exhale and come down. Let's go into a child's pose. We can take a wide knee, child's pose, big toes touch. Lower down. Nice deep breaths in and out. All out, elongate your exhale. Something curious, something that you're interested in, that holds your interest from the start of your exhale to the very tip of your exhale. And then come forward. I'm just going to show a Shirshasana entry with that same kind of fold in the arms. This might be interesting. You can see what it might do for you. So it really creates that tripod instead of two palms. And the head is actually just the elbow tips, but it basically is the same setup, the feeling of the same support setup. So we hold the opposite upper arms, bring the head down, and then start to come up. Maybe you only go this far just to feel it out. Wherever you are in your inversion practice, stay where you need to stay. Inversions should end up becoming very grounding. So they shouldn't be agitating. They should definitely be more grounding and supporting, especially for the glands, the nervous system. It's up through the legs and go through the belly. Push down through the arms. Get taller. And slowly come down. And your arms beside you, palms can face up. Slowly come up. And we're going to lower down on the back, nice and slow. Inhale and exhale and start to come down. Reach the fingertips forward, reach the toes forward, and try to really slow this down. Resist gravity. Gravity wants to just pull you down. We're resisting through that force. So you have to create opposing forces through the body. Reach the arms back. Stretch through the legs. Right leg loose. Hold on anywhere. Kind of circle the leg around, open up the backs of the legs. Just feel how tight or how maybe looser they are now. And we're going to come up nice and slow. You're reaching forward strongly through your legs and find where you get stuck. Find that place up and stuck. Can you get through that feeling of stuckness by really scooping the belly in a little more strongly, lifting up, lengthening out, and come down. Paschimottanasana. And come up. And lower down again. Good. Pull the toes forward, pull through the arms. Resist. Reach back, get long. Exhale, left leg loose. Hold anywhere. Circle it around. what you like with your ankle or your feet. And then we're going to start that process of coming back up with the belly. Find where you're stuck, play with it. It's so much fun. And exhale and come down. Walk the hips back. Anchor your outer hips and glutes. And work your thighs underneath you. Reach up. Good. Nice and active through the legs. Pushing out strongly through the heels. Reach wherever you need to. Angling forward, hinging at the hips. Slowly coming down. Breathe into the low back ribs, the lower lungs, filling the lower lungs out into the rib cage. Exhale, feel that good compression, that good release. Feel that exchange of gases. Good, the replenishment of blood in those cells, oxygenating the blood. Exhale, can we go longer through the chest? And just teach ourselves to relax. I, this construct, our person, this narrative that we have nurtured and maintained our life. Is spirituality or transcendence, is that just really about letting go of that I identity? If we really can do that, everything becomes crystal clear. Look forward and slowly start to come up. And you can get yourself down on your back for the final resting pose. And please make sure that you always have time for this. This really is about the body's way of finding that rest so that the subtle body or the energetic body can really open into its own natural intelligence and serve us in the best way possible, inviting the energy of healing into the body. So find your way there. Take a few good breaths. Just to give yourself a chance to let go. Let go of that self, that construct, that idea of who you are. And let yourself feel the freedom behind that, letting go. That full relaxation of not having all that work to do. Not having that problem to solve. So I thank you for joining me. And again, happy New Year 2023. And just remembering that you have come full circle on so many occasions. and this may be one of them. But you have a standing record of getting through every bad day in your life at 100%. And that's a pretty good deal. So let's show a little gratitude for that. And namaste.